Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're back in AFK Journey, and in today's video we're going to be covering some of the key information which was covered in the new info Song of Strife season trailer, which was uploaded to the official AFK Journey channel. I will share a link to this in the description of this video if you want to watch it in full. It's a 15-minute video, but mainly today we're going to be talking about the screens which were displayed and discussing also the future game modes which we're going to expect to happen, which have been discussed in this trailer. So Alsa is a mage, as you can see in the top. She has a 6 range, she's a magic damage dealer. She also has a lot of utility, and she has skills which we've never seen before. She can set up terrain in the battlefield. If we just take a look here, she can summon these rocks, and they do a couple of things. They'll stun nearby enemies or knock them back, deal damage, and also, very interestingly, block range damage through those rocks. That's a really cool thing, because that kind of shuts down those single target damage dealers like OD who rely on their normal attacks because they just get blocked. And so that makes her very unique because we haven't seen anything like that before. On top of that, she has other skills. If we keep looking, when she casts her ultimate, she will jump towards the target and enter a combat stance to gain new abilities. And also what they're talking about here is multiple pillars can exist on the map at one given time. It seemed like only 2 at a time were existing, and then when she summoned a third one of the 2 gets destroyed. So there's a limit. You can't just fill up the whole map with rocks, but it seems like you can definitely have at least 2 at a time, maybe even more than that with levels. And so for her ultimate skill, Twirling Rocks, which is what they're talking about here, Alsa will move to the target location, cause damage to the enemies within range, and then she will enter combat stance, and she will gain 2 new abilities. She'll first curl up into a ball and quickly strike the target, cause a stun, and deal damage, and bounce back to her original position. And when she has her exclusive skill, which is her Mythic Plus, Dawn of Terra, then the more she rolls in the stance, and it seems like, I don't know how it would work on autoplay, but in manual, if you just hold it down to roll for the maximum duration, then let it go and release it, she will deal a stronger impact and avoid more damage. And when she receives a high amount of damage within a range, once she is in this combat stance towards the enemy, she will curl up again and run away. So basically she has her protection mechanism and escape mechanism as well. And curl ups will consume energy. She will gain shields when she recovers. Her other skill is Stone Barrier. Rolling Boulder. Here, she deals damage to all enemies who recently suffered control effects. She sends a vibration of the earth, finding all enemies that have been controlled recently. So again, we were talking in my previous video, which was a PvP tier list, that right now the meta is all focused around crowd control, and this is also a crowd control hero, and it does just better with other heroes which have crowd control, because if the hero has recently been controlled, she will deal damage to them. Yeah, and you can see that here. So she's a control type mage who can create terrains, but mainly the terrains are the cool part. And then we have Soren, who's her brother. I don't know if these are A-level heroes or S-level heroes. I would imagine at least one would be S-level, maybe the other would be A-level. Because after Florabella's limited banner is gone, I think there's one of these will be the new limited banner, I'm assuming. And for some reason, I thought Soren was the S-level, and he definitely seems, in my opinion, he seems really strong, or pretty usable. So his skill, Repel Sweep, which is an active skill, and it can also be procced off of his other skills. It will deal damage to a target, knock them back, and it deals additional damage and stuns them if they collide. So for example, if all the enemies are grouped up, which normally happens in PvP, and you hit the frontmost enemy and it bumps into the enemies behind it, that front enemy is going to take a longer stun and be knocked down. And it also works if you're hitting them into a wall, if you're hitting them into a rock from Alsa, so it's synergized with Alsa, or if you're hitting them into the edge of the battlefield of like Arena, for example. So they're just describing that here. If they're at the edge of the battlefield, they get knocked down and stunned for longer. Then you have the ultimate skill, Whirlwind Swing, and this is rushes to selected target, knocks back nearby enemies, and this is in an AoE radius, knocks them back and deals extra damage and stuns them if they collide with other entities or basically terrain. And this is interesting because in the current arena maps, there is terrain in them, but there's not really any heroes which take advantage of that. But now the heroes are going to be coming out which are going to take advantage of that, or pushing them to the edge of the battlefield, get the extra knockback. So Soren is basically going to be obviously a melee damage dealer, somewhat like hybrid, not just pure raw damage, also somewhat tanky. has the utility of knocking them down, stunning them, and AoE stuns is always useful. So in a Mauler team, like, he's great. Like, if you already have, and I think this is going to make even Shakir stronger, because Shakir does really well if you have other really strong melee Mauler heroes up in the front line with him. So Soren is very well prepared, practicing for years to protect the Uru clan. And Enhanced Force increases this is Supreme Plus, increases the knockback distance of the next repel sweep when triggering Deflecting String, dealing extra damage. This is interesting, so it gives him some tanking capability. When Soren receives a single attack damage that exceeds 10% of his maximum health, then his Deflecting Swing will reduce damage from this attack by 70%, so basically reduce the damage heavily when he's taking over 10% damage, and it will trigger automatically repel sweep to again knock them down, especially if they're grouped up with enemies or if they're near the edge of the battlefield. So altogether, his kit looks really good and really strong, and I have a feeling that he's going to be the limited banner, and probably it would be like a smart idea even to try and get copies of him. But the thing about limited banners, and these heroes are usually always going to be converted and available on your wish list later on, so if you can just be patient, you will be able to get them on your all hero wish list and epic hero wish list. It's only really if you want them immediately that the limited banner is good, but if they're really strong heroes, then the limited banner is good because it only requires 40 for a guaranteed pity and a guaranteed summon of the hero. So health falls below 50%, the skill activates, which will increase his speed and lasting for a set period of time. So interesting. Very cool. And these codes we've already talked about in my previous video, but if you missed them, here's the first one, AFKJ update. Then you have the Warsong Festival. They're going to talk about this. This is a mode of like map exploration, which is the new puzzle feature of the game, where you have these creatures or monsters, and they are like, you kind of provoke them into running after, like, or trying to charge you, but then you use them to charge through like these barrels which you can't otherwise get through. Basically, it's a way of getting through barrels or different obstacles and just destroying them so that you can get the chest. So this is a new puzzle which looks really cool and fun to play. On top of that, there's another puzzle which is the treasure hunt, where you have, it's kind of like, you know, those people who have the metal detectors on the beach trying to find the objects. So you basically triangulate, you place down these different things, and they will identify a location, like a triangle of where the treasure is, and then you have them placed in different locations, and you can kind of try to figure out where it actually is and dig it up. So that's also a cool feature. Here we have a Mauler team, full Mauler team, Brutus, Shakir. Interesting, they don't have Odie. Odie would be good, but this is also like an insane Mauler team, especially it would be very strong fighting against the Iron team right now, because Mauler does counter the Iron team because you have that advantage of Mauler versus Wilder. So there's a new mode, kind of like Solo Crucible in the maps. So far, I don't think this is going to be any PvP or any other related mode. It's Raging Duel. Stacks of rage accumulate maybe when you cast ultimates or something of the sort, and when you get the full stacks of 5, you start like, I guess you're full of rage and you just annihilate the enemy, but that just seems like a PvE mode. Then you have the charms, which it's kind of similar to what we expected, which is that they're going to be different tiers up to Mythic, and of course Mythic would give you the most bonuses, and they're also going to be of different set types. And we have one example of a set here. They have this set bonus, and they have like these daggers, looks like the rogue icon, and the legendary set effect of this one, it receives 100 energy for each assist or kill out of an enemy hero, increasing damage dealt by 15%, stacks up to 3 times. So each one of these charms are going to have like this different set effect if you have 3 of the same set. Also, as you can see, by equipping this, you got these bonuses of HP attack and crit percent. So it's probably going to be some percentage of attack and HP, or maybe just flat, and then another stat. So this is interesting. It's going to power up your heroes more, but as far as they mentioned before, this is only going to be applicable to the season, and so it probably will not carry over to your regular PvP. I don't know if it will carry over to the new versions of PvP coming out in this game mode. Then you have Dura Trial. This is going to be like a tower-based thing where you can clear stages to get potential loot of these charms. So you will randomly almost get these charms by clearing these floors, and then you can equip them to your heroes to power them up. And it's available Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So kind of like the Legend Trials. Then we have another promo code which we mentioned in the previous video, but you can enter this into AFKJCC program if you missed it. And Then we have seasonal skills. After you reach, I think, level 51, they said, of the new season, then your seasonal skills will unlock. Yeah, season level reaches 51. And here's an interesting thing. So your season levels are not going to carry over to your main level of like your account, but when the season ends, then the season levels will be cleared and converted into essence to upgrade your resonating synergy. And so it's not going to be wasted. It's going to upgrade your resonance synergy. But as of right now, having that like high above level 300 isn't going to help you in the boss mode Dream Realm because you're capped at stats at level 300. Maybe this will change in the future. But as of right now, going above level 300 is really only beneficial for the main server arena, like your own server arena. Now they're going to talk about Supreme Arena. They say it's an event. But I don't know how long it's going to be lasting for. And there's a level 240 written icon in the upper left. But in some of the previews, they have heroes at level 243 as well. So I don't know how the level is going to be related to your resonating level, but probably there's going to be some link to that. And it's going to be a best of 3. So for this mode, when you want to try to do well here, you're going to eventually have to build 3 strong teams. Or at the beginning, 2 strong teams. Because if you have 2 really strong teams that can't be beaten, you're going to be winning the best of 3. Like you just have to win 2 out of 3. And as you can see here, they are level 243. There's some new arena maps which will be available. But the best of 3 format is really interesting. There's also a hero in the back here, which I don't know if people noticed, but it's a Hypogean hero. And it's not anyone that we've seen before. Like I'm pretty sure this is not the ghost guy that we have right now. Or is it? Maybe it is, but it looks sort of like some sort of creature, rodent type thing. I don't know. It seems like a new hero to me. But, we know that in the future they are going to add new Celestial and Hypogeans, but as of right now they haven't given any information about that. Okay, so you have the heroes here, and they're going to be different lineups. And even they mentioned this specific map where you can put heroes behind terrain so they can be protected. Like maybe you want to put, I don't know, probably you would put Odie there who can deal damage as long as its normal attacks don't get intercepted by the terrain. But yeah, this is going to be a cool new mode. There's going to be new equipment at the new season launch. And that's pretty much it. And here's the final promo code, which is AFKJ Creation Fest. So the new mode is really going to be this PvP mode, which is going to be best of 3. What they said is even if you lose, you're not going to lose out on any points. There's no loss for losing. And so what it seems like to me, and I've seen this in other games I've played, is usually what happens is it's going to be cross-server, they mentioned that. And it's going to be a mode that if you can beat the opponent, you're going to raise in ranking. If they beat you, then you're probably going to go down in ranking. But if you lose, you don't lose any ranking. It's only like you keep attacking until you can't beat anyone anymore, and that's going to be your rank. And usually you're going to earn like currency, usually the arena shop currency, for whichever rank you get in proportion to that rank, sort of. And maybe there will be bonus rewards on top of that, but it would be amazing if we could earn even more arena currency, because there are a lot of heroes in the arena shop already. There, I think 8 or 10 available in the arena shop, and also the stargazing tickets if you're in the champion arena. So there's a lot of things to be buying from that shop. Even when you get them all the Supreme Plus, you can try to get them to Paragon by buying from that shop. So if you can get more arena currency, it is going to be a really good boost for your account. And that's what I'm going to expect from this mode, that you're going to be able to earn more arena currency from this. But maybe there will be bonus rewards on top of that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your opinions are on all of this information. And it's exciting. This will be coming out May 10th for the earlier servers, and I think even my account will be having this season on May 10th, and I started 3 days after global launch. But I think the servers were started like close to a week or later after global launch are going to have this a bit delayed start of the season. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, because we upload daily AFK Journey content with like new information and also guides to help you progress. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And everyone, peace out for now.